Hey guys, how are we doing? Back on another video from Totally Not Mark. I'm super excited because I wanted to check this out for, it's been out for a week at the time of me recording this, but I've been taking gave myself a week break. Basically, I've come to record this, and now it looks like he's reviewing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I will be checking out his JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reviews as well. But let's check this out first. This is the hidden genius of Dragon Ball's music, and oh my god, the music in Dragon Ball really does add to some moments. Super was just intense, man. That tournament part, here we go. Oh, yes.
This was my favorite
so
from
cool.
Dragon Ball Super. And so, apart from the glaringly obvious on the surface, I wanted to figure out why this scene works so well and why that
makes it
music
work.
fits so perfectly. Throughout my years covering Dragon Ball and countless hours online discussing it, one vital component to its worldwide success oftentimes failed to receive the appreciation it deserved. And trust me, I'm one of those people too, because I totally failed to fully appreciate and observe it. And that aspect I'm talking about is music.
The music, yeah.
More specifically, the soundtrack. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mark,
Do,
I've
do,
grown up
do,
on the show.
do,
I've
do,
spent so
do,
much
do.
time listening to the music. I've heard all the songs. And yeah, okay, I get it. I can sing all the lyrics to Chala,
Chala,
Chala.
Chala.
After taking a closer look, the staggering amount of detail and planning that goes into so many films,
Why have they
TV
got
shows, and
L singing
musicals
above?
is honestly jaw-dropping. And despite the fact I've spent tons of time committed to the narrative
Oh,
side
the
of
music in
Dragon Ball,
Broly's
as it
sick
happens,
as well.
I've yet
Oh
to
my
tip the
god.
iceberg in the music department. Today I will be exploring Dragon Ball Super's music and why it's more important than you think.
Sick.
Dragon Ball Super Broly was critically acclaimed across the board from an animation standpoint, but also from a musical.
Here we go.
Alright, that track might have been a little more experimental and divisive, but my point is,
I loved
Dragon
it.
Ball Super Broly's soundtrack was viewed as leaps and bounds ahead of Dragon Ball Super,
It was sick.
particularly its earlier stuff. And that's with good reason. Tracks like Omen of Victory and Turning the Tables in Dragon Ball Super
Excuse me.
were not only tracks that more often than not were poorly placed within the anime by the directors, but they were also clearly designed to project a more kid-friendly vibe within the story.
God, yeah.
That's important to understand, but I'll get into that a little later because some people seem to have this idea that Sumitomo, the composer who was enlisted to create the music for one of the biggest intellectual properties on the planet in Dragon Ball, suddenly started to get good at creating music halfway through his time.
Oh,
on the
okay,
series,
interesting.
Which just flat out isn't true. But anyway,
Oh, okay.
Dragon Ball Super's musical score was heavily criticized in the earlier arcs due to its evidently poor implementation, lobbing the blame largely on the individual creating it until eventually the standard became evidently elevated. Now, gee, where have I heard that before? Something starting off bad in Dragon Ball Super but slowly
Well, yeah, the
getting better
animation, yeah, and as it got on, it got better because people were able to wear. It was a rush job. That's what it is.
Animation. For years now, I, as well as countless others, have spoken at length about the hardship.
Is that what it is? It's the same with the animations. Like they were like just turn something out.
Of 2015, talk on the mainstream level regarding animation and the development of which within the industry was criminally low. So it was an important conversation to have, and I'm glad we had it. But music way too often gets left out of that conversation or forgotten entirely, despite it being a casualty of Super's ridiculous production schedule also. You heard me. Sumitomo did not have enough time to
Right, there we go.
create the
That makes sense.
soundtrack
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Dragon Ball
Credit where
Super,
credit's due,
or
man.
at least not enough time to create the soundtrack that he wanted. And there's proof of this. If you look at his work before he started working on Kai or Super, the tracks that he was making sounded remarkably similar to what he ended up making towards the end of the Super series and in Broly. I mean, if you really think
Oh,
about
right,
it,
so we did Broly as well, but yeah, there you go.
working
Yeah.
against the musical score of Dragon Ball Super because Sumitomo doesn't even get to place the music himself. That goes to the directors of individual episodes who think that this is an appropriate track to play while Vegeta is charging his Gallic gun.
Ha.
This is not the song you use
No.
when your protagonist is up
No.
against a
Not at all. Oh my
that's
god.
struggling against difficult odds. And there's literally no excuse for this because a much more appropriate track
So the
was already
directors
available for that
decide
scene.
where the music
And I know
goes.
this because they used that very intense track in episode 6 when Goten and Trunks were having a water gun fight.
Oh my god. What? It's the same track.
What bothers me so much isn't just because the atmosphere or
There's no
vibe portrayed
thought.
through the music doesn't match what's on screen, but also because if done well, which as we've seen with the Broly movie can be the case,
God, yes.
if a score is given enough time to be developed, they can tell a story using that music too.
Yeah, you
And
don't
this
need the
is where
dialogue,
I
you can
introduce
just-
many
it
of you to a
helps.
musical technique
give us the feel and emotions and stuff on screen.
The leitmotif.
The leitmotif
is defined as an uncomplicated musical phrase or theme that represents a person,
place or idea within a story. Right, okay, cool.
The idea behind the implementation of leitmotifs within modern media, by and large, is to create a correlation between recurring concrete aspects of a story and the soundtrack. This in turn helps people identify what score represents what aspect of the film, as well as help people better understand the story at large in some cases. Think of it as the music helping you to better understand the story, and this might sound horribly complicated, but I assure you it's not. Take this for example. In the original Dragon Ball story, the musical arrangement that accompanies the visuals has become widely known as the Kikuchi score, named after the man himself who composed it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Score. I'm kidding, it's
Mr. Score, it's hilarious.
This is an example of a score that was given the appropriate time to prepare interesting melodies for, and in the case of this example, leitmotifs.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
This is King Piccolo's theme, as most of you might be familiar with it. If you're not, listen up, because here it is.
Okay.
Piccolo's most significant section of Dragon Ball story from a narrative point of view can be seen from the King Piccolo saga through to the Saiyan saga.
Okay.
As soon as King Piccolo appears as an old Namekian in the King Piccolo saga, Kikuchi lays the groundwork for his leitmotif. This sounds significantly different to the one I showed you before,
Yeah.
but the feeling is still sort of there. It gets across the evil intent, but it's slow. It feels like
because he's older, right? So it goes with the right. That's cool.
Communicating to us that he's not King Piccolo in this form. He's not complete, and this is perfectly representative of the plot too. At this point in the story, Piccolo is spending all of his resources and efforts to become young and powerful again. And once he
so
does,
it gives that old, sluggish kind of feel with the music. I like that. Oh, right, and then, yeah. That's cool, yeah, because then the music's more upbeat and he's like, I'm younger now.
This form, the true King Piccolo leitmotif.
That's cool.
There's significantly higher notes, it's faster, and the melody line finishes in a really satisfying way. And in the same way the melody is fully realized, so too is King Piccolo. But this is where it gets interesting. Piccolo Jr.'s is different again.
Oh yeah, but it's still got a similar sound to it. I like that.
Once again, keeping the same melody line, it employs a much faster and playful tone, getting across that there's a fundamental element to this character that is the same, but that he is much younger again, and most importantly, is his own person.
Right, so it's similar but different because, yeah, he is his own entity, isn't he? He's like he's born from King Piccolo, isn't he?
Until the most pivotal moment in Piccolo's life, his time spent with Gohan.
Oh, whoa! Yeah. It's the same song, but it's sadder.
While you would recognize it as Piccolo's leitmotif, it communicates a much softer, heartfelt approach. And musically, this is very important for this series. The music in this instance isn't just dressing for the scene to match the tone, it communicates part of the story.
That's class.
Piccolo's internal struggle and change to the side of good. Even without the context of this scene, if someone just played this music for you, while you would recognize it as Piccolo's leitmotif, it communicates a much softer, heartfelt approach.
Yeah, that's class. Oh, mate. Damn.
Fast and pitchy rendition from earlier in the series.
That's some effort and thought gone into these.
Changing, or in this case, has changed. And that's the strength of the leitmotif. It's a piece of music that represents something concrete within the story and helps to communicate story elements to the audience as a result. If you weren't aware of this, then welcome. I hope you enjoy stories much more now. But the point that I'm trying to make here is musical scores serve much more of a purpose in a scene than just setting the mood.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not just background.
Just demonstrated above help you better understand what's going on in a scene. In the case of
I've always been a fan of using music in videos.
Good, but this technique isn't just limited to the Kikuchi score of Dragon Ball either. The same can be observed with the Falconer score of Dragon Ball Z from the late 90s too. An easy example can be seen with the track Gohan Angers. Initially, a variation on
that
motif
is
associated with
huge.
Gohan early on in the series, this one really takes on a life of its own in this one pivotal scene in the series as Gohan transforms in front of Cell to win the day.
Yeah.
However, this track also is used elsewhere in the series during Gohan's mystic transformation with Boo.
Oh.
Fight you? No, I want to kill you. Throughout the Boo saga, we're introduced and listened to various other pieces of music for characters such as the Supreme Kai, or even instances where that realm he comes from is of focus. Predominantly, this new aspect of the series in the Kais and the other world are represented with a much more synthy sound rather than the traditional instrumentation we've come to expect from Faulkner. And this is largely there to create a distinction musically between new inclusions to the story and the main cast. This adds a fresh atmosphere to the arc, but it also added something wonderful to Gohan's leitmotif. Because the mystic form had been given to him by the old Kai, it is in part associated with that aspect of the series now. And with this, while the theme of Gohan Angers plays, it is distinct from the Cell Saga's incarnation of the track.
That's
it
cool.
Both ties to Gohan's character and the realm of the Kais. Okay, so that's leitmotifs, and trust me, there's way more to this. There's like
Love it. It's like, okay, there's one thing, it's not just the same thing over and over. There's more. This is class.
I'll hold my hand up. There's still a ridiculous amount of stuff that I still don't understand because I really only started reading about it a month or so ago. But there's still one aspect I need to share with you all that demonstrates how music makes you feel emotion that honestly took me by surprise. And that's contrast.
Okay,
if
yeah.
I were to approach a person on the street and ask them, what sort of music would you put with a sad scene to make it feel more sad? Apart from responding with, get away from me, you weirdo, what do you think the most popular answer among this
sad
survey
music.
would be? Personally, I would have said sad music.
Yeah.
I mean, these are scenes that make you cry after all.
But
as it happens, this actually isn't true at all. With a sad scene, if you want to get the most emotion out of a viewer, uplifting music usually works best. Think about it for a sec. For me, the scene that makes me cry a little more than I'm comfortable to share with you all online is the last episode of Dragon Ball GT. For those of you that
it's like kind of uplifting. It makes you feel nice because it's like, oh man, he's saying bye to everyone. It's like,
from Vegeta to Piccolo to Krillin, but usually during this section, I'm able to keep it together. Where I lose it, however, is right in the last scene as Goku walks away through the grounds of the World Martial Arts Tournament, effectively saying goodbye to all of us. Now, fans of GT and this episode will be able to tell you what theme plays during this scene, and it's the opening theme song, Dan Dan Kokoro Ikareteku. Now, those of you that have seen my review of this series, you'll know that I'm not the biggest fan of GT.
Yeah.
No? And neither do I, because this is the worst episode
I hated it,
I've
but
ever
yeah,
seen.
I'm not going to go into that.
This, however,
You guys hate it when I do the GT thing.
Even in my review series, I mentioned how I love the opening
Yeah, the track's class.
that sense of grand adventure which Dragon Ball always represented for me. And throughout the series of GT, whenever a pivotal moment came about, you best believe we'd be hearing this theme song in one form or another through various remixes and reimaginings. And instead of many other tranquil or sad tracks that they could have chosen from throughout the series, they decided to end it with Dan Dan. And the reason being is contrast. The song that represents adventure and fun now accompanies the scene that represents Goku's adventure.
End of the adventure,
and the narrator says as much.
It's great.
This is where the story of Dragon Ball ends.
Yeah.
So on top of this track already acting as a leitmotif for adventure and positivity in the series, it can also be used as a mechanism to stand in direct contrast to a quieter and somewhat sad moment, creating a stark comparison in our mind, which breeds emotion. But let's get back to Super for now.
Yay!
A good friend of mine, T. Hallam's on Twitter and YouTube, in addition to helping me put together the information for this video, also enjoys fixing the musical choices in the early scenes of Super. Check him out.
Interesting.
It's honestly amazing what changing the music in a scene to something appropriate can do to elevate it. But something you might notice, however, on that channel is... Stop right there! Apart from one or two strays, the vast majority of his edited scenes cover only material prior to episode 46. And that's because around this time, similar to the
music
animation
started
of the
getting
series,
good.
the quality started to improve.
Makes sense.
This is also when Sumitomo made one of the most memorable musical tracks in the entire series.
Jeez.
Goku Black is one of the most easily recognizable and memorable
Definitely.
characters to come out of Dragon Ball
Loved
Super.
him.
And Sumitomo helped
Loved
him by
him.
giving him an amazingly nefarious villain
Giving
theme
his
that
own
crawls
theme.
inside your brain and stays there. It's catchy and it's perfect for the character. And this arc also has another theme I adored too, Zamasu's theme. While significantly more understated than his more Goku-centric counterpart, it's still catchy and encompasses his character perfectly. But one aspect of this arc I thought they didn't capitalize on from a musical standpoint was in the fusion of the two
Oh, now that would have
characters.
been
So I thought it would
cool.
be fun to commission my friend
Oh, go ahead.
92 on YouTube and Twitter to create for me a perfect marriage
To blend
of
the two
respective
together.
themes to create one perfect fused Zamasu.
Oh, now that would have been cool.
Implementing elements from both to create something new. And needless to say, he did just that.
Cool. Whoa. No, that is cool. That would have just added a little bit of sprinkle on top, wouldn't it? Damn.
That was sick. And
That's class.
That one turned out so well, I asked him to make me one more. I thought that since Fusamasu loses his mind and becomes corrupted physically later on in the story, his theme should reflect that insanity too. And this is what Pokemixer came up with.
Oh, yo, that's sick.
These tracks were really fun to workshop, and if you'd like to see these full clips and scenes with the music unedited, I will upload them onto my Twitter, @TotallyNotMark. Alright, enough fooling around. Now that we've got context and understanding regarding some basic fundamentals of music literacy, let's take a closer look at Dragon Ball Super once again.
Oh my god.
Understanding the purpose music plays in storytelling now, we can with greater understanding appreciate how utterly ridiculous this scene is.
Yeah.
The music doesn't indicate anything other than that the directors and staff involved were really scrambling to, at all costs, put an episode together on time. However, when it came to this scene, it absolutely knocked it out of the park for me. And so, using everything we've learned today, let's see if we can, on some level, understand why I loved it so much.
Okay, let's do it.
The track is distinctly Dragon Ball Super. None of the other series discussed sound anything like it, which helps the story being told have its own identity. But that's just superficial surface dressing.
Superficial.
Those of you that have been paying attention will also know that this track is in and of itself a leitmotif. But what does it represent and where did it come from? The track backing up this scene you might recognize is a remix of the main theme of the Universe Survival arc, Limit Break X Survivor. Listen carefully. In the same way Dragon Ball GT implemented its theme in pivotal moments to harken back to something familiar, so too does this track work in that way. Well, the story being told in this arc is that of Universe 7 needing to band together with unlikely comrades to defend their own universe from erasure in a multiverse team-oriented battle.
Did he say erasure?
And this variation of the theme is played not just here, but in a few other instances to reinforce the fact that this track represents trust and teamwork.
That's class.
The first obvious one comes in episode 109 as Goku begins calling on his team to lend him their energy for one of his signature finishing moves, the Spirit Bomb. Because this is one of the first notable inclusions of this track of the series, this particular piece of music has become widely known as the Genki Dama theme on YouTube. But it is in fact a leitmotif derived from the original OP that not only has nothing to do with this scene specifically, but also has nothing to do necessarily with Spirit Bombs.
With the Genki
For
Dama,
example, another instance that this track makes an appearance for is during the closing moments of one of my favorite scenes concerning Piccolo and Gohan in this series. Downed and trying to rally themselves, Piccolo looks on as Gohan has his back, and together they finally overpower the team of Universe 6's Namekians thanks to their combined
That was really cool, that as well,
yeah. These scenes with the Spirit Bomb and the team up of Gohan and Piccolo gave me chills, but they didn't really invoke the same sort of visceral reaction or emotion that the scene in the final episode did. And that is primarily due to contrast. I spoke about this briefly during my breakdown of this scene in my review of the arc, but it's worth repeating for the sake of this point.
Those reviews are really good.
The entire crux of this scene leans heavily on the story being told by Frieza in this arc. And this scene, this conversation with Goku, acts as its climax. Throughout the tournament, he has really been working on his own, unable to fight alongside others, oftentimes only contributing to the action in the latter stages by blindsiding the antagonists before ultimately being kicked to the sidelines to lick his wounds. And by the time the final battle comes around, he's made it known that he clearly struggles to work alongside others. Reinforced by the dialogue, he screams towards 17, who is only trying to keep him alive. He doesn't want to rely on anyone because he can't trust anything anyone says.
Why would he?
In his mind, he'd betray them, so
why would they not betray him? Yeah, cool.
This way of thinking is what makes sense to Frieza, made obvious by his responses to 17's restricted but sincere words aimed towards him in episode 131.
Huh, class.
Despite looking
and then Frieza's like, what?
Weakness, the battle suddenly takes a turn for the worst. Jiren, now fueled by a new motivation, finds hidden reserves of strength, forcing Frieza to have to hide behind the defenses of his ally, 17.
Oh my god!
Frieza is forced to shed his gaudy golden exterior and is forced to relinquish his dwindling energy reserves to 17's shield to defend them both. But just like Frieza feared and suspected, this trust
It's not enough.
isn't enough.
Yeah.
The shield is seconds from breaking,
And then
it's
Goku.
looking like trust and teamwork is nothing in the face of absolute power. The ethereal music from this track cuts through the air and replaces all the despair we've felt leading up to this with hope, as Frieza finally has a conversation about trust with Goku. It's the best conversation in the entire series in my opinion, and this track reinforces every single aspect of this scene, made all the more powerful because as viewers we are so invested in the conclusion to this upcoming conflict. We've no idea.
These sketches are so cool.
We too have to put our trust in this unlikely team. It's a wonderfully crafted piece of music that not only uplifts this scene, but creates a gorgeous contrast with the most unlikely teammates of Goku and Frieza, and implements a reliable leitmotif we've made a connection with during the tournament.
Yeah.
And that is why this scene is my favorite in the series. And if you're still not convinced that this scene or this arc is about teamwork or trust, just check out Jiren's final words when he's defeated at the Tournament of Power. So this is trust. Universe 7's power.
There you go.
I've spoken at length about the animation troubles and woes of Dragon Ball Super, as well as the narrative quality and shortcomings of
But the music was affected as
have
well.
countless others across YouTube and the internet at large. The topic has become so ubiquitous that it's honestly difficult to find an instance on Twitter where someone brings up the animation quality of the series without someone at least mentioning the reasons behind it once in the underlying comments. And this is a great thing. For an audience to be so educated about a particular topic is commendable, and it's honestly one of the best things about living in the modern age to me. When someone says that Dragon Ball Super's animation was terrible, there's plenty of people right there to provide the facts. But this is no different to the
For the music.
music.
Yeah, it's class. I like this. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes so much sense. Because if it's the same guy that made music all the way through, it shows that he had it from the beginning. Just wasn't given the time to do it.
It's easy to notice great animation when we see it. It's flashy and it's bombastic, but rarely can we say the same about music. If a musical score is doing its job, oftentimes we don't even notice it, as it seamlessly integrates itself into our subconscious in an effort to tell a compelling story. And so, as viewers and fans, it's our responsibility to recognize when it's in trouble and to appreciate when they show themselves the pockets of hidden genius in Dragon Ball's music. I want to give a special thanks to T. Hams, who helped me with so many of the specifics in this
That's
video.
cool. Nice shout out there.
Special thanks also goes out to PokeMixer92 for creating some of these custom themes in the video, like the Fuse Zamasu theme and the
That was
Corrupted Fuse
boss. They were
themes.
brilliant.
Check both T. Hams and PokeMixer out on YouTube and Twitter. Also, if you found this particular dive into musical score theory interesting, I couldn't recommend a channel on YouTube called Sideways more. He specializes in music video essays, goes into way more detail than I ever could, and I honestly think he makes some of the best video essays on the platform, period. Check him out if you haven't already. But as for me, next week I begin a new adventure.
I'm so excited.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I can't wait to share it with you all. This one will be much, much shorter than the One Piece series, and I hope you all can join me for the ride to see what all the hype is about. And to make things a little bit more interesting, the author of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has actually made a how-to write book discussing his approach to narrative theory. So, let's see how the early work stands up against his own standards, and let's see if this bizarre adventure will be a great one. I'll see you all there, but until then, I've been Totally Not Mark, and thank you so much for watching.
I can't wait to check his JoJo's reviews, man. That's going to be sick. Sick. It's funny because I was about to like properly get into One Piece. I've only read like a few chapters. Like I was properly like saying to my girlfriend, "Oh, I need to get the next 3 volumes," and then that's everything that covers the part 1 review. But then he's gone and done. So, and I love me JoJo's. So yeah, but that was cool. That was a really good look into the music and that, and it makes a difference. The music can really change everything, and I appreciate him bringing it up because I never thought about it. It makes so much sense. The animation suffered because of the deadline that everyone was given, so obviously the music was affected as well. That is very valid, and I think we've all learned something today. So thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you should watch and discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys. Just saw you guys next time.